Hello, we are Geeks Assemble, and today me and Susan will be discussing a 1980 Stanley Kubrick movie based on a 1977 novel by Stephen King, starring Jack Nicholson and Shelley Duvall. Of course, it's The Shining, and this movie, Stephen King is not so keen on it. I don't know if his views have changed over the years, but he wasn't so keen on the casting of Jack Nicholson. Um, he tried to talk Kubrick out of casting him,
Oh yeah.
and I think was it he wanted John Voight. I think he said,
Hmm.
um, but it was a box office success, and over the years it is a cult classic. Even so, now about 2 years ago, a sequel from the Stephen King novel Doctor Sleep appeared, which we may get to talk about in a future cast. But today we are talking The Shining. So, Susan, over to you.
All right. Well, I've seen this about 10 times now, and I have questions about it. Um, First of all, Kubrick. There is something about a Kubrick movie that takes your breath away in terms of like setting and visuals and composition and colors and intensity of focus and depth of field.
Mhm.
Um, Man, I mean, when you're talking about this, you can see the whole room. There's nothing out of focus. I mean, it's like this camera. It's like my
Yeah,
my webcam. My webcam is quite high definition, and you can see everything. It's got a great depth of field. I mean, this is as in focus as this right up here. And Kubrick uses that all the time. And I mean, when he did his space stuff, everything was in focus. There wasn't anything that was like, anyway, to me, that's just, I mean, it's definitely iconic. I mean, Eyes Wide, everything that he's ever done has had those intense focus, intense, you know, intense, beautiful compositions and things like that. I just, uh, and the way he uses light and dark and somewhat light. I mean, he's got he's got he's uh he's got a definite flavor to his cinematography, to the cinematography that he asks for. I mean, it's
mhm.
not like it's not like if you use the same cinematographer on everything, but what he asks for, he gets anyway. Um, let's see. So like the drive up and like the opening shots of this, and then the also the shots um of how it looks for the first couple of days, where you can see everything. You can see like way off in the distance those mountains, and way off, you know, all the way through the maze. Everything is sharp, real, wow, beautiful, colorful. And then the snow comes on like a Thursday, I think it is, and it just socks in and stays socked into the till the rest of the movie. And it isn't just a little snow. I mean, like it buries it up to the second story in certain places with huge drifts. And that's really that's that can be really confining. And so yes, it becomes more and more confined, and it's not just I mean, like the evil characters, like the lady in the bathtub, she starts out confined and then she gets up and moves out and she's free. And the twins are confined in one and then they're right there in front of you. They're free. And the old what's his name? Hang on. Anyway, it's so there's some themes. I'm just gonna leave it at that. There's some themes that are about the evil starting off really small and confined and then set free, and then the good people, you know, their gift, the kid Danny's gift, his shining gift with his with the old the old cook, I think it is, and
Scatman Crothers.
Scatman Crothers' character. He offers Danny some ice cream mentally, and that it starts off being used so peacefully and so good, and then all of a sudden it just gets, you know, he'd seen a little trial, like a little thing in the Danny had seen something at home in a dream, and then boom, and then it gets worse and worse and worse from there. And so I mean, there's lots of little there's things that people talk about. There's things like the meaning of the two caretakers that Torrance interacts with. And
Grady. Grady.
The two Gradys, the old Grady and the new Grady.
Mm.
And then the old Grady who killed his family, and then the new Grady who, anyway, or was it the other way around? Anyway, like there was anyway, so I mean, Shelley Duvall's performance was out of this world. You felt like it.
What an actress.
Yeah. And during this podcast, I want to talk a little bit about what she went through as an actress and what she went through as a person. And so I'm just going to slip it back to you, and like, what are your opening thoughts, man?
Well, I can understand why Stephen King wasn't too happy with the final movie, because there's a lot of stuff changed from the novel.
Oh.
The novel sort of went with Danny's character, and the movie was more involved with Jack's character. It was, you know, even the hotel room number was changed, because I think the hotel where it was, the outside, the exterior footage of the hotel wasn't too keen on having that room number associated with what was supposed to be going on in the movie, so they changed the number. But also as well, the blood coming down out the lifts, I don't think was in the book. There was a lot of things not in the book what was in the movie. It's like, as you said, the twins, but they weren't twins. They were sisters. They were old. One was older than the other, because the hotel manager said that when he was interviewing Jack. So they weren't twins, but when you're watching the movie, you think they are twins.
Yep.
The way they're stood and dressed, you think, a bit confusing. But for me, this movie, it's a powerhouse performance, this movie, by two actors. Jack Nicholson is just when he starts to be losing his mind and taken over by just the hotel, really, isn't it? It's the spirit of the hotel. It's just amazing. And then Shelley Duvall's journey into utter despair um,
Uh-huh.
with what her husband is doing.
Uh-huh.
Is
Yeah,
watching that performance.
quite right.
And can you believe this was filmed in Elstree in the UK?
No, I had no idea.
I didn't until I looked it up. It was filmed in the UK, apart from the exterior shots of the hotel and stuff like that. But all the inside apparently was all in the Elstree Studios in the UK. So maybe it must be cheaper to do it in the UK because we are cheap over here. Um,
Well, if you can build sets that look like a hotel that looks like it goes on and on and on, and it winds around corridors and it goes in circles and it has you have done you have a beautiful sets anyway. Just
oh yeah, yeah. I mean,
go on.
I did like the sort of growing friendship between Danny and Scatman. I can't remember his character's name now, but Mr. What was it? Mr. Mr. Halloran, because he had the shining as well. He had the powers, but for me, that character was wasted. For for he was there to welcome them, and then he was there for going all the way back there through the storm to get to the hotel, only just to be killed.
Yeah.
With it, yeah, it's. I
But
thought
that was a sort of a here we go. That was a cinema trope that has a lot to do with the only black character in any movie
hmm
that would get the axe, would get killed. And
yeah,
I mean it was, you know, it was like that for fucking 35, 40 years. And it was, I mean, it's horseshit. It really and the fact that they, that the in the writing of the in the conversation between um Torrance and one of the Grady's or whatever. Um,
the father who killed his daughters.
yeah.
Yeah,
He's like,
yeah. Oh yes, the N word.
yeah, he like, and so the minute you use that word, you know that they're gonna kill him because there literally is, for 35 years there was a
That was an intense scene. That.
and that's and here's me thinking that scenes like that brainwashed our police officers now. It really does. It got in their heads and fucked them up bad. It's just my thinking, but like that that was just a trope. It was just the way things were.
But that scene there, though, when Grady said it to Jack, you could see the sort of shock on Jack's face, and then he repeated the word as if questioning. As
I
but
don't think it was that. I think that he was more more
it was
conflicted that somebody was interfering. Not that he used the word. He was conflicted that someone was going to interfere with his little.
yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. No, that's what I'm saying. He was sort of questioning to begin with. Then you could see the expression on his face. Something sort of took over him, and he sort of went with the way of thinking that Grady was. He was sort of turning into Grady at that point.
Definitely did.
Yeah, I think Grady was influencing him right there and then in that scene. He was Jack Torrance, and then all of a sudden, once that conversation started, he sort of started to meld,
Yeah.
I think, and he became the new caretaker in the Overlook Hotel.
Yep.
The shall we go to scenes of what you were okay with, or
Yeah. All right. I'll leave the iconic ones for you because I have some ones that I have to discuss that are like when Danny and Tony are talking. Tony is a little that was Danny Lloyd. You know, he was a good actor. I mean, that is one kid with a hell of a lot of chops. And I'm not entirely sure if that's Jake Lloyd's father, but maybe. Anyway,
don't think it is, but
there there
no.
was a there and the scene. I love the scene where she's wielding a bat and stuff at him and climbing the stairs,
Yeah,
and you could see her you know, going through it in her mind that she is, you know, she has seen the abuse that her husband has given her so far. You know, his insanity of, you know, don't fucking bother me when I'm writing and that shit. And like she just she, you know, you can see her how deeply um you know, sadly, you know, I've experienced the hell of my husband, and here we go again. And I mean, that is some tough stuff. And um, you know, Jack Nicholson. People say that he plays himself. He plays the same character from the Joker to the guy in uh, the one with Tom Cruise. Anyway, to you know, this to One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, but they are all so nuanced.
mm-hmm.
They all have complete and to, you know, in so many ways he infuses them with different things, and then I mean, his what you would what for other actors may be cringeworthy is like him challenging the character again. And so, you know, I think he's as highly as he's regarded. I think he's also really under regarded because of how much people say like he does the same sort of thing every time, but he doesn't. He really doesn't.
Well, I don't think he does, to be honest.
Yeah. And I know that you really like his Joker portrayal. I know that you really do. I remember that and stuff. And so, yeah, this family. I guess I feel like the their portrayals are really amazing, and like the things that I liked were I like the sensitive moments between Danny and hang on. Well, Now it's acting weird. Okay. Anyway, Danny and his mom. So those moments are really. I mean, there's one where Danny approaches Jack and
Is that the one? Is that the one where he sat on the bed?
yeah, in the bedroom. Yeah, that rebuff is like, oh, it breaks your heart.
Yeah.
It does. Anyway, so um, those those are my thoughts and my favorite moments of the things that I really I can resonate with about this, and I I don't know. It's not like it's not something that I have a lot of um, wistful. There's no pull for me to watch this all the time.
Mhm.
It's just that randomly I end up watching it, and so I ended up watching it for Keeps Assembled, and now I have to say something about it, and so yeah, it does challenge me to. I'm not positive about this as much as it wows me. That's all. Back over to you. What are your favorite moments?
Well, I've just realised because I've just been scrolling. Joe Turkel, who played Lloyd the barman, who was talking to Jack. Um, I knew his face from somewhere because a couple of years after the Shining appearance, he appeared in Blade Runner as
Oh,
Dr. Eldon Tyrell.
that's right.
Yeah, with the big glasses.
Wow.
I just, I thought I knew I knew the face, but one of those things. Um, yeah, as I say, I don't. I agree with what you say about Jack's performance in any movie. He's not playing the same thing every time. Um, this performance is a powerhouse of a performance, say from him and Shelley Duvall. Um, I'd love to know if filming that scene with the Here's Johnny scene, um, she actually knew what what he was going to do, or did he keep it a secret? Because sometimes actors do that, don't they?
Yeah.
Just smash the door down and stick your head through there. I wonder if they didn't, if that was scripted, the Here's Johnny bit or not. I don't know.
Oh, Johnny is also Johnny is a nickname for Jack, or Jack is a nickname for John. Anyway, so
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. For me, you said the scene on the stairs where she's wielding the bat at him, and he's not going to hurt her. He's not going to hurt her. He's just going to smash her brains in. Whoa. that,
and the way that she pulled into that moment, like
yeah.
she's almost ready to give up the bat, and then
Mm,
says that, and it's like, oh, oh,
yeah.
oh hell,
Um, and as I say, the scene. I do like the scenes with Danny on these little pedal car, just zooming around the hotel corridors. That's so well filmed. Um, and as you say, with Danny talking to Tony with the red rum,
God,
which was such a great scene. For as you say, for a kid of that age,
wow.
amazing acting, amazing acting. Um, but for me, one of the scenes is as I say, the toilet scene with Grady and Jack with us, we've talked about that, which is, I think, is where he sort of changes. That's the scene where it clicks into place and he's just gone. But for me, the chase in the maze,
Oh yeah,
so well shot, so well lit,
yeah.
and I had to remember to breathe when I was watching it again, because I sat watching it and I was just holding my breath. So it's so well done, and that kid's got brains. Walk backwards.
Yep.
But yeah, so over to you now, Susan. Shelley Duvall, over to you.
Okay.
While I go let the cat in.
Okay. Shelley Duvall has she worked until like I think it's 2000 or something.
Mhm.
And then she retired, and like for shooting one of her things, she moved to Texas and stayed there. And for a while, I mean, she was with like she was in proper hippie society. She was married to Paul Simon and everything, and bit by bit, her she has struggled a little bit with mental illness, or a lot with mental illness, but uh, some of that could be uh, resulting from method acting or roles or whatever.
Yeah.
And you get a lot of people who wanted to take advantage of the fact that you know she is striking in appearance, and when she is showing her feelings or acting her feelings or whatever, it drags a lot of pathos out of people. People really feel connected to her, like I did, like in this movie. I felt like an abused wife after watching her, after watching the Torrances relate. And it's because of Shelley Duvall. It's because of her performance. And I was, when I first started, you know, watching this and stuff, I was like Googling whether or not she was related to Robert Duvall, and whether or not and stuff like that. And it was, none of those things ended up mattering as much as, there's a TV uh, sort of talk therapist named Dr. Phil,
Mm.
and they exploited her. I mean, they brought her on the show and cornered her, apparently, and they brought her, of course, because of it's Shelley Duvall, and you see it in her face, and she's so connectable. So, you know, they really had. I mean, it felt like the way that Megan was talking about, trying to get help from the royal family. It's like that. It's like this woman was trying to get help from Dr. Phil, only it was just exploitation, and there was just. I mean, it was for me to hear the story. I was like heartbroken, and then I haven't seen the episode. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about really, but I do know that she did. They've been hounding her. Apparently on Wiki, they said that they've been hounding her for years, asking if she needs this kind of therapy and that kind of therapy and that kind of therapy and whatever else, and she just distanced herself from the whole thing. She retired from acting. She acted for 36 years. Somebody said that she still thinks that she still mentally hasn't come to terms with Robin Williams is passing away.
Mm.
But I think that was in another article. But I think, I think the way that the media, the big corporate media has treated this lady is atrocious. It's absolutely horrible. It's fucking sick as fuck. And I feel like, she she would be in a better place had she not gone on this show. You know,
Mm.
I think that she would be a lot, you know, even if she's struggling with grief and struggling with this and that, that kind of therapy nobody needs. I go to talk therapy every week. I need it, but you know, not that kind. And anyway, I feel lots of pathos for her. I feel lots of empathy for her, and in this movie, you can see where a lot of it, like if she is really method, where taking this much of that whole reality of The Shining in would mind fuck you so bad.
Just watching it, it does.
Yeah, walk, no, yeah, no kidding. So, oh man, I just feel bad. Anyway, oh crikey, I'll throw it back to you. Anything else you want to say?
Yeah, as I mentioned earlier, Scatman character I thought was wasted, but I'll always think of Scatman as Hong Kong Fooey.
Oh yeah,
Um,
that's right.
but he did a lot of voiceover for cartoons for Hanna-Barbera and stuff like that.
Yeah, and
Yeah, it's
he did great in Blues Brothers.
mhm.
Uh huh.
Um, he uh, he was one of those actors. What is he wasn't real. He was never a leading actor. He was always in a supporting role. But when he came on screen, you noticed him. He lit the screen up
Uh huh.
with that distinctive voice of his.
Yeah.
Um, as I say, it just wasted character for me. But all in all, it was. I mean, I haven't seen this for must be 25 years now since last time I watched this. So it's always good for me to sit down and watch these movies after a long time, and because sometimes you appreciate more movies after certain times. Um,
Yep.
so I think, are we on to final say and score now?
One more thing about Scatman Crothers is that he was with Jack in what's it called, in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Was he
Yeah, he played one of the
one of the
orderlies.
movies? Yes, he did. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
and apparently he was in all the Transformers as Jazz. So that's cool. He was an Autobot.
Oh
Right.
yeah, yeah. That's it. You've made it when you're an Autobot.
That's right. That's darn right. Leonard Nimoy wasn't famous until he was an Autobot.
That's true. We may have to do that movie one day.
And
Um,
what about Orson Welles? He wasn't famous till he was an Autobot, right?
yes, it was. That was that the 1980 85
Yeah,
animated? Was it? Yeah. So we may have to dust that one down and review that at some point.
sure.
I know Ethan will be all for that one.
I bet yeah, he will. Yeah.
He loves his Optimus Prime. Um, right. So we'll go to final say and score now. Susan, what's your final sense thought on The Shining?
Oh my God. Here's Johnny.
Shining.
Oh my God. Red Rum, Red Rum.
Red Rum.
I'm so serious. Like this movie messes with you. And it is really gorgeous, but it's really, really you know, heartbreaking and mind messing. And so for all of those reasons, I'm gonna give this an 8.5 out of uh, 10 snowcats.
Thank you, Susan. I'm going to give it a 10.
How many was that? 9.5 out of 10? Did you say 8.5 out of 10, Tony? Oh my God.
I think Tony said. I think Tony said 8.5.
I think he did too, but I'm not sure because I'm never sure about this movie. Anyway,
It was just due to my lack of Scatman's usage in the movie, because I think he could have done more.
I know.
Could have used him more.
You know, and they could have not killed him and killed just anybody else. Killed just anybody else. The sheriff, they could have killed anybody else. Why did they have to kill him? That's the stupidest thing. Anyway, I think it's racist, and I think that it inspires racism. So, but that, you know, I'm not just SJW here. I'm serious. Like, because this messes with you so bad, dude. You know what I'm saying? Anyway.
You don't want to go there. Susan's already messed it up anyway. Anyway, deep breaths, Susan. Deep breaths.
So, yeah.
Breathe into a brown paper bag. Right. So, and on that bombshell, I would like to thank Susan for talking The Shining. You guys out there, please leave a comment below. Let us know what you thought of the movie. If you would like to be on our casts, messages, leave a comment below as well. You know, we're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We're all over the place, social media, and of course, YouTube. And if you want to be notified every time we put up a video, press the notification bell button and you'll get a little ding every time we put one up, 2 to 3 times a week. But I'm slacking this week because I forgot to put one up this week, so I might put one up later tonight.
Okay.
It'll be surprised. It'll be surprised. I don't know which one it's going to be.
I don't either.
I never put them up in order. I don't.
Oh, you don't, and so it really when people are laughing.
So it makes Susan look silly because she's going on about what we're doing next week, and that's already been put up.
Oh. Okay, so speaking of next week we're going to be doing Looper. Speaking of mind messing, you know, we're going to do this one called Looper, and it's got a Bruce Willis in it, so there you go.
And also we're doing Back to the Future 2. So that's what we're doing next week, but them videos most will be up before this one.
Yep, that's the way Lee is.
So until next time, remember guys, keep shining.